Jesus Christ, I know 6-year-olds that could have come up with that.
Boom! Tough Actington acting.
Christ wept. That's the best you could come up with, Tyrod? No wonder those Bills let you go.
Shit.
Someone needs to ask him if he knows where the sun sets.
Oh, yeah.
On his career.
Yeah, it's set. Right now, it's setting in Cleveland for you.
Oh, man.
Because the idiot that didn't know the answer to that question on Hard Knocks is now starting. And you may not be at the end of the season.
Speaking of Hard Knocks...
Yeah, it's going to be in Cleveland.
I'm gonna get to it, actually, really quickly. I think, give me 1 second. All right, so we're going to talk about Hard Knocks in our next segment, which is the Sports Tweets of the Week. So I'll start with that one. At John Madden tweeted, report, Cleveland Browns Hard Knocks appearance will be the first to be simulcasted on both HBO and Comedy Central. It's going to be such a mess. It's going to be such a friggin' mess.
In typical Browns fashion, they lose in the ratings there too.
I don't understand who in the Browns organization thought, you know what, this is going to be good for us.
It wasn't even their choice. The NFL told them they were doing it.
That's ridiculous.
Like, they didn't have a choice. That's what happens when you don't win a game. The NFL just tells you what you're going to do now.
What would have been best for Hard Knocks is if they invited Johnny Manziel to camp and let Johnny Manziel and Baker Mayfield compete for the starting job.
What would have been good for Hard Knocks is to watch Johnny Manziel in Canada.
Yeah, and we talked about Johnny Manziel in Canada a little bit earlier amongst ourselves and how...
We don't need to talk about it.
Well...
It's Canadian football. It doesn't really count.
What? Have you watched Canadian football?
No, I don't.
It's good.
It's on.
It's good.
Eh.
Just commit to one game.
No.
Just commit to one game. It's
Can't
fun.
do it.
It's fun.
Can't do it.
You're missing out.
Maybe.
Anyways.
It's football.
Anyways.
I mean, good. Actually, going back to the beginning of the poem, good for Albany to snap the 20-game sole winning streak at home. That was impressive.
Yes, it was. And now we're all in on the building an empire.
They really
They're winning the championship.
They really can beat anybody now. I mean, that being said, there's only 4 teams. But did you know that?
Did I have to point that out?
Did you know that what's his name's brother, Josh Norman's brother, is on the Empire?
Yeah.
That's insane. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Didn't know that. I found that out because there was an article in the Times-Union about... The article was about a guy on the Empire's brother is on Dancing with the Stars. He's also in cornerback in the NFL, you idiots.
Yeah.
You couldn't even win at that.
But no. Let's get the gossip people in there by putting Dancing with the Stars on there.
It's also like I saw this one thing that pointed out... what is George Clooney's wife's name? Does anyone know?
I couldn't tell you what her name is.
Whatever her name is. There was a headline that said, whatever her name is, Clooney and husband. like, whatever her name is, Clooney and husband. Like...
Because that's what people are going to know.
Yes, exactly, right?
Yeah, because that's the leading actor in that relationship.
Right.
That's who's getting top billing on the movie poster.
Right. That's ridiculous.
Do you know they're taking bets on over-under in Royal Wedding? I didn't know this was happening. I mean, I didn't see any of it. I don't care.
Who cares about the
Royal for what? Like how long they'll last?
No, I guess it was over-unders on, there was a bet
time.
on whether or not Harry would have his beard or not. You could bet that. Because I guess when you wear a military uniform in Britain, you're supposed to be clean-shaven, and he had to get, some stupid rule that says he had to get a pass by the government. I'm like, what government? Isn't he the prince?
No, because that family has absolutely no power.
I understand that they don't matter, and Americans stopped caring about the royal family in 1776.
Apparently not, because this is the second royal wedding in the last 6 years.
No, it's just because one of ours infiltrated them. That's why people
2 of ours
care.
now.
Oh.
The American Revolution Part 2 has begun.
Yeah, American takeover. Watch out, there's a brick wall back there, guy. I know it looks like fluffy weeds, but it's a wall.
As we're watching the Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, guess where they are?
in Chicago.
The only place that has their back wall is brick.
Yeah, which is stupid.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Not be stupid. Anyways, we got some more tweets and some really good ones. So the Toronto Raptors tweeted, "Congrats, coach," after Dwayne Casey was named as a Coach of the Year finalist. Anybody get the irony in this?
He's not their coach.
He was fired.
Did they text this after or
Yes,
before?
after he was fired. They tweeted it after he was fired. They fired him 2 days later. Congrats, coach.
I mean, you should have said congratulations and then used his like hashtag or his tag for it. But you can't say coach. He's not your coach.
Like I don't
If
know
he
what
was
they
your
were
coach,
thinking.
you wouldn't have fired him.
He shouldn't have been fired.
Who's the idiot that's running the Twitter? It's some Canadian.
Drake.
Probably is Drake. Probably the same guy that runs his Twitter.
I tweet good, sometimes I don't.
I tweet good words.
The best words.
Oh, God.
All right, so the next tweet comes from one of my favorite follows on Twitter, Field Yates. The man is incredible. If you've never seen anything he's ever done, he does a lot of fantasy stuff, but he knows football better than anyone that I can think of. Even better than John Madden. I know it's surprising. Field Yates said, "Cologne after the game. He got me on the side. It was not in the middle. And I have a big belly, so I can handle it. Greatest pitcher of our generation." That was after Bartolo Colon took a 102-mile-an-hour hit off of a bat right to the gut.
And then picked it up and threw it off. Threw
the dude out, yes. Like, it didn't even faze him. He just got beamed in the tummy. And this guy just bends over, picks up the ball, and throws the dude out at first.
The most impressive part was him bending over to pick up the ball.
Yo, he's the best 5'8", 300-pound athlete ever.
He's an idiot. Do you know that?
I love him.
Do you want me to... Okay, you want to hear a story about Bartolo Colon?
I think I do.
He literally had a no-hitter a few weeks ago.
Bartolo Colon had a custody hearing in New York City for a child of his. But he wanted to remain anonymous throughout the proceedings. The judge granted him this. Then he decides he wants to represent himself instead of a lawyer. Do you know the problem with that? You now have to be in the court records as being your own lawyer. So you can't be anonymous anymore.
So Bartolo Colon will be representing unnamed client.
No, you're listening to the court documents. Bartolo Colon would like to remain anonymous during his child custody hearing over a child that may or may not be his, but he's going to be represented by Bartolo Colon. Really? Did you get a law degree? Is this a side gig for you?
Yeah, it's a side hustle. Some people drive Uber. He does that.
Yeah, Bartolo Colon. Look at him. You think he's practicing law?
Bartolo Colon, Esquire.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved when he was a pitcher with the A's. He was so good. So good.
The only bar he's passed is the one in the pub.
The only bar he's passed.
I mean, he pitches a pretty decent fastball nowadays. Is about it.
I mean, that being said, I don't dislike Bartolo Colon. I don't care about him one way or another. I think he's hilarious to watch. I love when someone like that goes out and hits. Who was the other big Prince Fielder?
Oh, man.
He was another one of those big
David
bastards
Price.
that could just... Yeah.
He's the oldest
Like,
player in the
just
league
those
now, right?
Monster dudes. And it's like you're swinging a bat, but you might as well just have taken a stick off of a tree. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Do you pick your teeth with that later?
I've got a big tongue, or I got a big belly. I loved that.
Like, I see those guys being like Mark Sanchez, and seeing them eating a hot dog in the dugout, like, perfectly would make sense.
I'm sure he does.
Oh, no doubt. He's the guy yelling at the Cracker Jacks dude. He's like, down here, man.
Maybe he's the one running the grill. We don't know.
Maybe. Like, man of many talents. Lawyer. Chef.
That Dwayne Casey one's still getting me. I
Pitcher?
love that.
And backstop.
Yeah, apparently. Let's move on now. iGlenn31 at iGlenn31 tweeted, rules that don't apply to LeBron James: traveling, offensive charge, free throw lane violations. Is that not the truth?
Does traveling apply to anybody in the NBA anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, they all travel.
Yeah, it applied to the Celtics like 5 times last night.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, with the exception of the Celtics, because obviously the refs were told by the NBA that the Cavs win. So, with that exception, I see a lot of people, and they call it a Euro step, but a Euro step to me seems like, oh, it's just one more step that's not really a travel. That's like, it's an extra step.
Yeah.
Like, what is is a Euro step the metric version here in America of steps?
Yes. I mean, I don't... going off of that also, like, I don't see how this Euro step is something that, like, we appreciate or we have grown to like. This isn't European basketball. We as a country have basically said we don't like European basketball. That's why we only care about international play during the Olympics. So why do we appreciate the Euro step when LeBron does it, but if anyone else does it, it's traveling? I just hate LeBron James' attitude. We're going to get off of that. Anyways, this last tweet is going to have some familiar names to it, and it's a long one. All right, so at DGadBoys tweeted, at Tom Gauze, I expected bigger. When talking about Jameis Winston's engagement photo, talking about the ring, our good buddy Gauze replied, the only ring he only needs to worry about one ring, Super Bowl champions 2019. And that's because he's a Buccaneers fan, Gauze. Mm-hmm. All right, I am Matt Woods replied, rumor has it they celebrated by eating crab legs and W's. To which, at the Jeff Levac replied, he stole her heart. A lot of shade at Jameis Winston in those tweets. So that's our sports tweets of the week. So guys, do you know what? We're gonna have a lot of fun with this next part, and I'm very excited. Tony, I know you're very excited. It's the reason I played Shipping Up to Boston at the beginning of the episode. College lacrosse.
Yes.
College lacrosse is slowly becoming, well, not even slowly, very quickly becoming my second favorite sport. It has propelled itself just behind NFL. So right now it goes college football, NFL, college lacrosse. All right?
It's a big leap, but I understand it.
You knock NFL down.
I mean, around here, I think you
might.
I think you really have to take it into consideration. I mean, it's definitely Albany's most successful sport. I mean, there's no two ways around it. I mean, there's no team in the SUNY system that does what Albany does in Division I.
Let me ask you a question. It's a trivia question. This is the second sport that UAlbany has reached the Final Four in. Do you know what the other sport was?
Baseball?
No, we're terrible at baseball.
Softball?
Nope.
Sure.
Volleyball?
Nope.
I don't know.
It's going to be fucking something stupid like bowling.
Ping pong?
Nope.
Tennis?
Tony, you were close with what you said it wasn't going to
Texas
be.
Hold'em?
Field hockey?
Field hockey.
Oh.
UAlbany women made the Final Four.
There's enough teams to have a Final Four?
Yes, they lost to...
There's only 4 teams, right?
No. They lost to, I believe it was Maryland, in overtime and had a chance to play UConn for the championship.
Well, that seems like something that a bunch of...
Damn Terrapins again.
Seriously.
That seems like a bunch of people in White Connecticut would play.
Yeah.